Assalamualaikum. In this presentation, we have chosen two companies, which is Petronas and MAHB. I will start by giving you a brief background of each company. Petroleum Nasional Berhad, commonly known as Petronas, is Malaysian national oil and gas company. It was established in 1974 and is fully owned by the Malaysian government. Headquartered in the iconic Petronas Twin Towers in Kuala Lumpur, the company is responsible for managing and developing the nation's petroleum resource. Over the years, Petronas has grown into a fully integrated global energy group operating across the entire oil and gas value chain. It continues to focus on sustainable growth with a commitment to achieve net zero carbon emission by 2050 while expanding into cleaner and renewable energy solutions. Malaysia Airports Holding Berhad (MAHB) was incorporated in 1992 and later restructured in 1999 into a public limited company. It was the first airport operator in Asia to be listed on Bursa Malaysia. MAHB managed a network of 39 airports across Malaysia, including 5 international airports, 70 domestic airports, and 70 STOL (short takeoff and landing ports). Beyond airport operation, the company also generates revenue from commercial services like retail, food and beverage outlets, parking, and property development. Next, I will explain the introduction to FAR570. FAR570 was issued by the Malaysian Accounting Standard Board in July 2009. These standards apply to entities whose equity or debt securities are public trade entities that are in the process of issuing securities to the public, and also companies that voluntarily provide segment information. FAR570 must be applied in complete set of published financial statements that follow the financial reporting standard. For company, they prepare both separate and consolidated financial statements. Segment information must be based on the consolidated financial statement. FAR570 provides guidelines on how an entity should report information about its operating segment in annual and interim financial reports. These include disclosure about different product and service, geographical areas, and major customers. Such information is important because it helps users of financial statement understand the company's past performance, assess the risk and return of each segment, and make better judgment about the entity as a whole. According to FAR570, an operating segment is a component of an entity that engages in business activity, earns revenue or incurs expense, and may even include transactions with other segments. Its results are regularly reviewed by the chief operating decision maker for decision making and resource allocation. Additionally, discrete financial information must be available for the segment.
Next, I would like to explain about the concept of CODM, which stands for Chief of Decision Making. According to FAR570, CODM refers to individual or group responsible for making key operating within an organization. Some companies do not publicly specify the exact individual or group acting as CODM. For Petronas, the identified CODM is the Executive Leadership Team ELT, led by Yang Mulia Tan Sri Tengku Muhammad Taufik Tengku Kamal Jaja Aziz, who is the CEO of Petronas. And for Malaysia Airports, the identified CODM is the Managing Director, Dato' Muhammad Izadi Ghani. Let's move on to the type of segment. First, geographical segments. It shows how a company reports its financial result based on different regions in which it operates. For Malaysia Airports, the financial information is separated into Malaysia operation and overseas operation. Malaysia operations cover all airports within the country, while overseas operations include countries like Turkey and Qatar. The snippet on this side shows that the sales of Malaysia airports are increasing every year. Next, for Petronas, the company reports revenue based on 3 main regions. From the chart show, Malaysia contributes around 35%, rest of Asia contribute about 42%, and the remaining 70% comes from other regions globally. By separating performance this way, Petronas can understand which regions are generating the most revenue and adjust its strategies for international operations. And as we can see, the rest of Asia contributes more sales than Malaysia and the rest of the world. The second type is business segment. A business segment is based on the types of products or services a company provides. For Malaysia airports, the operations are divided into airport services, duty-free and non-dutiable goods, non-aeronautical services, project and repair maintenance, also agriculture and horticulture. Each business segment generates different revenue streams, so reporting them separately help management track the performance of each activity clearly. The snippet on the side shows the revenue of each operation for the year 2023 and 2024. Petronas also use business segments that based on the different products or services that they offer. The operations divided into upstream, gas and maritime, downstream, and corporate and others. From the snippet attached, we can see that all the revenue are reported separately by each operation.
The first key benefit of segmented reporting is that it provides a clear understanding of how each part of a company contributes to overall performance. Segmented reporting helps users such as investors, analysts, and creditors to see which area of the business are profitable and which may be underperforming. For example, according to Petronas financial report for the year ended 31st December 2024, the upstream segment contributed the highest profit after tax (PAT) at 34.8 million ringgit, followed by gas and maritime at 19.9 million ringgit. In contrast, the downstream segment recorded a small loss of 29 million ringgit, and corporate and others posted a larger loss of 773 million ringgit. This breakdown reveals that upstream is the company's most profitable section, helping users assess exchange and risk. The second key benefit of segmented reporting is enhanced risk assessment and forecasting. By showing the result of each segment separately, Petronas help users to understand which areas are doing well and which are struggling. For example, in 2024, the gas and maritime segment earned less than it did the year before due to lower product prices and asset losses. This breakdown helps investors and lenders identify where risks are emerging. They can check which segments are more sensitive to changes like the market prices or regulations. It also improves forecasting as users can make more accurate predictions based on trends in each segment. Without these details, users will only see overall result and miss important insight about the company's internal performance. FAR 134 segmental reporting is a standard for preparing interim financial reports, which are a financial statement for a period shorter than a full financial year. Bursa Malaysia requires all listed entities whose debt or equity securities are publicly traded to publish interim reports. This report can be issued semi-annually, quarterly, or even bi-monthly. The reports may be in complete or condensed format. FAR 134 also prescribes the minimum content that must be included in the report, including disclosures, and it sets out the recognition and measurement principles that should be applied. The purpose of the standard is to provide timely and reliable financial information to help users assess the financial position, performance, and cash flows of a company during the year.
Now, I will explain a significant event affecting Petronas' financial position and performance, the partialization of the Sabah Sarawak Gas Pipeline, or SSGP. Recently, Petronas announced that it will partially decommission and cease operation of the SSGP, a major pipeline that transports gas from Kimanis in Sabah to Bintulu in Sarawak. This decision came after repeated environmental issues, leaks, and maintenance challenges, as widely reported in the Selangor Journal and Millennium. The media also highlighted that the pipeline is valued at around 4.6 billion. So why is this event important from a financial reporting perspective? First, alleged asset decommissioning, typical triggers impairment loss or write-downs. If Petronas can no longer generate the expected future economic benefits from this pipeline, the carrying amount of the asset may have to be reduced in the financial statement. Second, Petronas will likely face higher future capital expenditure, especially for plugging, abandonment, and other decommission activities. These activities create or increase provision and liabilities, which must be recognized under accounting standard. Third, the cessation part of the pipeline could change future gas supply economy in Sabah and Sarawak. This may reduce future cash flows, affect profitability, and increase risk exposure in Petronas upstream and gas operations. Overall, the decommissioning of the SSGP directly impacts Petronas' financial position through possible asset impairments and increased liabilities, and its financial performance through reduced revenues and higher costs. Management will need to reflect these impacts in valuation, provision, and future forecasts. Next, I will explain a significant event affecting Malaysia Airports Holding Berhad, or MAHB. In 2024, MAHB achieving strong passenger traffic recovery, handling around 135 million passenger movements across its airport networks. According to reports from Business Today and Selangor Journal, this represents 96.1% of pre-pandemic levels, which is a major milestone for the aviation sector. Both the domestic and international segment recorded strong improvements. In addition, new airlines and new routes were introduced throughout the year, which helped support MAHB's revenue recovery. So, why does this matter for MAHB financial reporting? Firstly, higher passenger traffic directly increase revenue. More travelers need more aeronautical income, such as landing fees, passenger service charge, and airline-related. It also boosts non-aeronautical revenue, including retail, food and beverage, parking, rentals, and duty-free sales. Secondly, as traffic increase, MAHB benefit from better operating leverage. Airports have high fixed costs, so when more passengers use the same infrastructure, the cost per passenger decrease. This typically leads to stronger profit margins. In terms of financial impact, this event enhanced MAHB financial performance by improving earnings and profitability. It's also strengthened its financial position through better cash flow, lower risk of losses, and potentially strong ability to service debt or invest in future airport expansion. Overall, the strong traffic recovery in 2024 is a positive development that significantly improved MAHB operational and financial outlook, and is therefore considered a key event affecting in interim financial performance. Now, we proceed to FAR 134, Financial Interim Reporting. Let's start with Petronas. Petronas prepares its financial statements on a half-yearly basis, meaning it reports twice a year instead of every quarter. In the table, you can see that for the current interim period, all statements such as the statements of financial position, profit or loss, change in equity and cash flow, cover the period from 1st January 2025 to 30 June 2025. The comparative interim period is from 1st January 2024 to 30 June 2024. This helps the company compare its financial performance and position for the same 6-month period in the previous year. The statement of financial position is presented as at 30 June 2025, compared with 31st December 2024, which was the last annual closing date. Next, we have MAHB, which is a listed company on Bursa Malaysia. Unlike Petronas, MAHB reports quarterly 4 times a year to provide investors with more frequent updates. For example, in the second quarter of 2024, the statement of profit or loss covers 1st April to 30 June 2024, while the comparative quarter covers 1st April to 30 June 2023. The cumulative figures in the statement of change in equity and cash flow compare 1st January to 30 June 2024 against 1st January to 30 June 2023. The statement of financial position is reported as at 30 June 2024 compared with 31st December 2023. In summary, both companies comply with MFRS 134 interim financial reporting, but their reporting frequencies differ. Petronas report half-yearly, suitable for a government-linked company. MHB reports quarterly, as required for a public listed company. Both approach ensure timely and relevant financial information for users to assess their performance before the annual reports are published.